Welcome in, everybody. My name is Michelle Cardos. I'm the Director of Education for the American Guild of Organists. I have with me here also our Director of the Idea Committee, Nancy Cooper, and our guest speaker tonight, Katie, who is going to introduce herself and explain a little bit about what we're going to do tonight.
Hi, thank you for having me. We're so excited to be collaborating with the AGO. This is going to be so much fun. My name is Katie Beth McKinney. I am the research manager here at Boulanger Initiative. And just to give you, in case you haven't heard of us at Boulanger, we call it BI for short, our mission is to promote and advocate for music composed by women and gender marginalized composers. And we do that through research and education and a variety of projects, including our database, which I should have had a slide for and didn't think to put in here. But if you're ever looking for specifically organ music or anything else we have in the database, it's all non-living composers, but it's completely free to use. And we are up to 18,700 works referenced by 1,730 composers and counting. And you can go and find links and recordings and manuscripts and as much information as we can possibly give you, all in this one-stop free shop to use. So definitely check that out at some point. But tonight what we're going to do is one of my favorite projects here at BI, which is our Wiki-a-thons. These are so much fun because it's a way for everyone to be involved in what we call public-facing scholarship. I don't know, we'll talk about what we all use Wikipedia for in a second, but Wikipedia seems to be kind of the starting place when someone wants to learn something new about a broad topic or a person. And it is such an immediately impactful way to increase equity and inclusion across the board in our understanding of music and composers by having these articles more filled out, organized better, grammatically correct, cited, things that you would think would be part and parcel of Wikipedia, but are not always the case. So to get started, Michelle, unless there's anything else you want to add in, I'll jump right into the slides here.
Uh, just that if you didn't get the handout I sent earlier, it's also in the chat. So feel free to download that. And yeah, if you have any other questions, I'll be here as well.
Great. So to start with, feel free to unmute or to type in the chat, but have you used Wikipedia before? And if so, how and for what purpose do you use Wikipedia?
I'll go. I use it to look up just about anything about any person, at least to start. No, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much, even if it's just a curiosity to, oh, I actually want to write more about this person.
Absolutely. And we've got in the chat, yes, for basic lookup and donating yearly, which woohoo, important. I do the same actually. Yeah, great. I completely agree. It is my starting point. And I love using it for reference lists, especially. I do this with students a lot too, if they're working on research projects, teaching them to use the reference section of Wikipedia. It's a great little starting bibliography and can lead you to more and more sources. But it is kind of the place where people jump into a new person or a new topic or a new place, etc., just to get the basic information. And sometimes that's easier to find than other times. And sometimes these articles are really, really fleshed out. If you go and look at Beethoven's page, for example, it's 2 miles long. Whereas if you look at some of the composers we're going to talk about tonight, it's definitely quite a bit shorter. This is a really common answer we get is that as our starting point. Also, reading material, quick to find biographical stats like maybe birth and death year. Plus, again, those citations are so important. So we want to frame everything we do in our editing tonight as a way to include those things that you want to see in a page. So if there's anything missing, like the basic demographic information, just really standard stuff you would expect to see in a Wikipedia article, we can ask what's missing and how can we add it in. Has anyone edited Wikipedia before? Great, this is fun. Okay, if it makes you feel better, I did not start editing Wikipedia until I joined BI, so I've only been doing this about, I'd say, a year and a half. I've been a BI longer than that, but that was about when I started doing this kind of work, and it is intimidating to start with, but I'm going to walk you through all the steps, and you really can't make any lasting mistakes. This is something people worry about is messing something up. You can't really do that because you have to go through multiple steps to publish, which is great. So don't stress. It's going to be great. So a couple of ways that editing can make an impact just off the get. First of all, you're contributing to collective knowledge, which is free and open access. And we love open access here at BI. And we can recognize these composers' achievements. Everyone who was added to the list of articles tonight was suggested by members of the AGO. And they're all composers, I believe, that you all enjoy their music and want to learn more about. So this is going to be a fun way to recognize everything that they've done. And it's also going to inspire future generations of research and performance. The easier we give resources, especially for students and teachers, we all know they don't have tons of time to go tracking stuff down. The more often we're going to see these pieces pop up in concerts, pop up in scholarship, and we'd love to see that. Plus, it's great for people who just enjoy learning, like me, who never stops learning when it's my job, which is great. So some very basic things. These are the easiest ways you can contribute to Wikipedia tonight are adding information from reliable sources, which we have provided in the handout. There's 3 or 4 sources, maybe a couple more if I found some good ones for each composer listed in that handout, so that these will all be good sources you can pull from to use for citing in the article. But another one, if you don't feel like typing out information, you can just copy edit and proofread. There have been articles, I can't remember who it was now, but one article I edited a couple months ago was mentioning a family friend of this woman composer repeatedly throughout the article, just saying, and she knew so and so, and she knew so and so, and she knew so and so. And it's like, yes, we get it. She knew so and so. That's not really the most important thing about her. So just doing basic grammar, basic structural rewrites is super helpful. You can also create citations, and we'll show you how to do that. Wikipedia is really great at creating them for you. So as long as you provide the basic material, they will automatically create the citation. So that's super helpful. And then reviewing structure and layout. I'm sure all of you have seen a composer page where it has like early life and education, major compositions, things of that nature. Just putting those headings can sometimes be really helpful for an article. Wikipedia also loves when we add hyperlinks to things, especially internal Wikipedia articles. So if you are chugging along and it's so and so was born in Chicago, you can link to the Wikipedia page for Chicago, and I'll show you how to do that as well. We are not going to create new pages as the focus of this event because that is a more involved process and involves review by administrators. But it is something, if you get into editing Wikipedia, you can do. And I myself have created, I think, 4 pages now of people who I was like, why are they not here yet? And that's been really fun to do. So there's a couple best practices you need to bear in mind before we jump into this. The first of these is the 5 pillars of Wikipedia. And I'm going to pull up my little link here. Oh, I ruined my whole screen share. It's fine. The first of these is that Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. So it's supposed to be very much not a soapbox, not an advertising platform, anything of that nature. It's supposed to be an impartial source of information. And especially important is that it's written from a neutral point of view. So we're not going to go in, as much as I love any of these composers we're writing about, we're not going to go in and say, I love so-and-so because of this. I trust all of you not to do that. But the point is that we're just citing neutral point of view writing information. Again, it's free content that anyone can use, edit, or distribute, and they ask that all editors be polite and treat each other with respect and civility, and that seems like a pretty thing we'll be able to do pretty easily. To jump back to my notes here, we also, like I said, Wikipedia can add citations automatically, which is great, but we never want to copy verbatim from other sources. I'm sure all of you know we don't want to plagiarize, so please put things into your own words. That's relatively easy to do. And even if it's a list of something, you'll want to change the order, change the phrasing so that it's not just copy and paste from another source. Images are probably not something we'll get into tonight, but if anyone wants to learn about adding images to articles, I'm happy to go over that later. But usually you want to use things, not usually, always things that are public domain, and they do have their own Wikimedia Commons website to make that super easy, but I doubt we'll get into that tonight. So the initial steps for tonight were to sign up for the event and into the dashboard. So I saw quite a few people in the dashboard already, but if anyone had a hard time doing this, please definitely let me know. There should be a link in the handout, and I believe it was sent out to you in that format where you can get into the dashboard and you should see the whole title of the event. And at that point, you'll be able to assign yourself a composer article. And I saw that quite a few people have already assigned themselves someone, which is great. I picked someone out too. But if anyone has any issues with that, let me know. You might have noticed when you were picking out articles that there are little letters next to each person, and it's sometimes S, C, or a S that's grayed out. And those are the different levels of article that exist right now. And I've only picked ones that are on the lower spectrum of completeness. So you might see that your article is a start class or a stub class, and that means that there are really a lot of room for improvement. Anything with a C class is intermediate, but there's still quite a bit more that can be done to improve the article. So that will definitely be fun to work on. So I'll show you a video here in a second that's going to talk about how to create an in-use template. That's so people who are on Wikipedia don't come along and try and edit the same article at the same time. And that follows with this one person edits at a time. And when finished, we'll delete that template and publish changes. And this video will show you exactly how to do all that. So that should play in just a second. Let me know if anyone has a hard time hearing this, but it's just going to be a little walkthrough of doing some basic Wikipedia edits here.
All right, so to begin, I have copied and pasted the dashboard link for the Wikathon into the address bar of my browser. And I'm just going to hit enter, go to the page. You can get to the same page by just clicking the URL that's in the handout. And so without already being logged into Wikipedia, you have an option to either log in with an account you already have or to sign up and create a new Wikipedia account. So I'm going to go ahead and click login since I already have an account. It'll prompt me with a couple of authorizations, and you can just hit allow to those. And then you can see that it's logged me in to the dashboard at this point. And so I'm going to go ahead and click assign myself an article from the home page here. And then you can scroll through and see the list of all the available composer pages that have already been added to the event. I'm going to select Gabrielle Ferrari's page and confirm by clicking OK here. And so you can see it got added to my assignments. I'm going to click article to visit the article. And this is the public article that you can then click edit here to go into the visual editor mode. If you find yourself in the source editor for some reason, I know it's a little intimidating, but you can always switch back and forth to the visual editor. So from here, you can see your cursor is moving and you can select text and you can edit. But the first thing we're going to want to do is insert a template to let other editors and viewers of Wikipedia especially know that this page is being edited. And so we're going to use this in use template here. I've inserted it with the last place where my cursor is, so ordinarily it would go up at the beginning if I had left my cursor here, but just an FYI that wherever you've last had your mouse, if you were already in the editor, that's where the template's going to show up. So you're going to want that to be ideally at the top of the page. So whenever you've made any kind of edit to the article, go ahead and click publish your changes. I like to make lots of little publishes along the way. So that it's clear, you know, that I'm editing on an incremental basis from the time that I added the template until I'm finished. It's just a personal preference. You can describe adding the in-use template, which I've done lots of times, as just a minor edit. So go ahead and select minor edit if you're only making a small change to either add or remove a template or maybe make a minor text edit of some kind. So then I'll hit publish changes here and it'll give me a little confirmation message up here in the corner. And then eventually after I've gone ahead and read this article and made some edits, I'm going to want to remove this template. So I'll go back to editing mode and you can just click on the template and it'll highlight blue, click backspace and it goes away. So then I will just publish. Just to be absolutely clear to everyone who's looking at this and can see the edit history on this article. And there you go. that's how you can get started with editing and signaling to other Wikipedia users about the edits that are going on a page. Hope this was helpful.
I always love watching that video where she puts the template in the wrong spot because it's very classically something I would do. So I'm just going to pull up the article that I've picked out for myself to work on and show you exactly the same thing, just so you can see that in practice here. So I'm logged into my Wikipedia account. I'm going to hit edit, and I'm in this nice visual editor, so it's much less scary to look at, and we're not in the source editing that looks like this. And if you get stuck here, just find the little pencil icon, switch back to visual. It should be all fine. So all I'm going to do is make sure my cursor's at the top, go to that template button in use, and it should pop up as a very standard template to use. Then I'm just going to hit publish. Something to know that if you are ever nervous about what you're about to put on the public side, you can hit review your changes and it'll show you exactly what you've changed. It'll highlight everything for you. And then you can go, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do is put this template in. And I'm going to do as my friend Emily described, which is added in use template. You can see I've done that quite a few times. Publish. And now if you were to go to the Elfrida Andre page, you would find that template on the public side. If you are ever unsure of something you've published or are wanting to fix something you've accidentally made it all the way through the published you think was incorrect, A, you can also go back and just edit it again. Or B, you can go to view history and it will show you everything that's been changed on this article since the dawn of time, which you don't need to look that much. But there are you can see previous editions. You can see, you can revert back. If you did something you want to undo, you can hit the undo button. No big deal. And don't stress, because there's a whole army of editors who exist on Wikipedia to just come along and double check everything. So nothing will be broken. Nothing will be ruined. Everything will be fine. We can undo anything and we can redo anything, which is great as well. So to give you an example of something that I might edit, this very first sentence here on Elfrida's page is not cited. So something that I would do is come up here to the cite button. First, I'd find a source that confirms something in the sentence, first of all. And they have this little automatic citation machine here for you. And a common source that I've given you all is a JSTOR article or a Grove Online article, and you can put that website right into this little bar here, and it should automatically generate a citation for you. If it doesn't, just ping me and we can talk through manual or figure it out from there. But when you do that, it'll automatically generate a little number here, a little superscript, and then it'll pop it down to the references. So you don't even have to worry about doing all of that work. Like I said, something you can do is just adding headings. And you can see Elfrida here only has 2 major headings. And just to give you a little glance of a comparison here of what a really fully fleshed out article looks like, this is Beethoven's page. And you can see that there are tons and tons of subheadings and larger, I mean, it's massive. It goes on for forever. So something that I'm going to do in hers is I'm probably going to find some more basic biographical information and break this into some subheadings like education. I might add a big heading for compositions and start listing a few of her works, and especially ones that I really like her organ symphonies that I was listening to earlier today that we might listen to tonight. So that's just some basic editing techniques here. Does anyone have any questions so far? And there's no silly questions in this. Okay, great. That's essentially all you need to get started editing Wikipedia. So you should have sources ready to go in your handout. You should have your article. If you get lost, just you can always publish or not publish. Like Emily said in the video, I also like to do a lot of small edits. So if I come through and add a couple of headings and like a couple sentences, I'll publish those so that I'm not, like if I accidentally refreshed my page, I wouldn't lose everything that I just did. So that way we're doing multiple little publishes. And you can see in the history, if you're ever unsure of what people have been doing, you can correct punctuation, removed comma, updated description, things like that. So it doesn't have to be a full paragraph of what you did. Just added information is totally fine. Added citations, just the gist of what you accomplished. So if everyone's ready, I will. Oh, yes, please, Nancy. Yeah,
You
it's
muted.
okay.
It's okay.
Okay, sorry, having a moment.
No
Um,
worries.
this is a question that I don't even know any of us will run into, but because on our committee we've run into a whole lot of, anti-DEI sort of uh, viewpoints. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have always wondered since I've begun reading stuff about Wikipedia as to how you can edit someone's editorializing, someone's
Mm,
minimized, like when they say, if they said something like, and I've read things like this, many people believe that her works were written by men, or
mm-hmm.
it is believed that whenever they do that kind of talk, and then it's uncited, and
Mm-hmm.
so how do you find a citation to disprove someone's editorializing without editorializing yourself?
Well, what's beautiful is if it's not cited, you are welcome to remove it. If it is someone's just, yeah, you can go through. I will show you. You can literally just go and take out a sentence, delete. I'm not going to do that because that was a fine sentence, so I'm going to go back. But discard edits. That's what that looks like. But if it's just someone's commentary, this, like I said earlier, the 5 pillars of Wikipedia, it is supposed to be a neutral, unbiased style of encyclopedic writing. So if someone's putting in here that her works are considered trite. I've seen that in an article, and there's no citation. That's shouldn't be there. Now you can cite negative reviews, but you can also cite positive reviews to counteract that. You can also cite performances. This is an often performed work, and have citation of many different performances. So yes, there should not be someone's unfounded opinion without deep citation. Like it has to be a published something to counteract. Yeah, the great question
Excellent.
though.
Thank you.
I've also seen that in Wikipedia as well. Oh, that is an interesting fact. After Alfreda was named director of music, it was another 150 years. That reminds me, I don't know if you've all heard of Ethel Smythe, but we all know that it was 103 years between her and uh, Kaya Sarayaho's performances at the Met, the Metropolitan Opera. It's wild gaps. And my favorite one to throw shade at is the Boston Symphony and Amy Beach's Gaelic Symphony. They premiered it in 1898, and they've never played it in its entirety ever again. I know. So we're going to see that as a theme. And it's so sad because all of these pieces we just mentioned are amazing, and Elfrida is amazing. So we have a friend of BI who's currently working on a new critical edition of her second Swedish Mass. So there's some big resurgence in her music. So I'm really excited to work on her article tonight. So if we are ready, I'm going to set some music up and we'll dive in. At any point, feel free to drop questions in the chat or unmute, whatever we'd like to do. Totally fine. I'm here to answer as many questions as you can think of. So have fun, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm going to pause the music just for a second to answer a little question here. Just a reminder of where the template section is, because it's a little spooky to look at it first. So you'll want to make sure you'll have hit edit, and then there's a little insert button here, and that's where the template can be found.
But I don't get that because mine says edit source and then I get the backward, the
Oh,
old
you get the
code.
scary.
I
Yeah, let
don't
me
get
get
the
to her
word.
page. So Elizabeth Sterling, let's see.
Mine doesn't say edit.
Interesting. Yours is saying edit source.
Mine says edit source.
That is odd. Would you be open to sharing your screen for a second so I can see what's going on?
Let's see if I can do that.
Let me stop sharing for a second. Just so I can
Let's
pop in
see.
and
How
look.
do I?
Should be a green button on the bottom of the Zoom section
Green button on the bottom of the Zoom section.
with a little arrow pointing up. Michelle is sharing turned on for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, great.
Is that sharing now?
Not yet.
Okay.
No worries.
I may not be your best candidate for this work.
Once we get you started, it'll be fine. The trick is getting the first steps.
I can't press the up share button without losing you when I go to her page.
Well, so you'll hit the up share button, and it should pop up with the screen that either says entire screen or application windows. You need to click on one to share. Do you have that, Lynn? So if you click on the green share button,
Oh, now we've lost her audio.
yeah.
Okay,
There we
can
go.
see the sharing.
Yay!
Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
Now that's interesting. Go ahead and hit edit source for me and let me see what happens. Yeah, it goes right to, oh, okay. Now, if you go down to that little pencil symbol on the right-hand side, yes, does it let you switch to visual editing? Aha, there we go. Okay, so now do you see the little plus sign in that bar to the right of paragraph a couple ways? So it should say even up a little bit more. So it says paragraph, and then there's the like italic symbol. Yeah, so scroll to the right a little bit. There's a plus sign. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
All the way, yeah.
Yes, there you go. Template is there. Yay. And then if you type in use, it should pop up. Oh, go back one. I think it clicked something on you. That was not your fault. It had a moment. You don't have to go back there. Go on the little arrow. Yes, right there.
Yeah.
Try in use one more time, and then don't hit enter because it'll select something. Yes, click that in use button there. Exactly. And then you just hit insert. There you go. And then now you just hit publish, and you can just add added in use template when you do that. Just there. Yep. Just added in use template. Great. And then publish, and that's now live. And if it messes with you, that's how you get back to the visual editing as you go through. But now the edit button is there. So hopefully that will make that much easier. That's the hardest part. Just getting it started is the worst. Okay, so I'll go back to sharing my screen if you want to stop sharing, Lynn.
Okay.
There's a little red button up at the top that says stop share. See that little tiny, it's a tiny little red button next to where it says you are screen sharing, right underneath the Zoom bar. Yes, there you go. They make it so small, it's very unhelpful, and I'm constantly trying to find that one button. Okay, let's go back. Okay, here we go.
Not happily, but not at all happily. But
I'm going to pause the music again just to show a different thing that I forgot to mention a second ago. So let me publish what I just did. And then show you all how to reuse citations once you've added them also, and how to add just to make it a little more clear, because this is a little funky moment to do. So let me pull up the page I'm working on so you can all see it. Okay, so if we're adding a citation, all you need to do is in that same top bar, there should be a little quotation mark and then possibly the word cite. It might look like in a couple people different screens, the cite might be missing. But when you come in here, there will be 3 little buttons for automatic, manual, and reuse. If you have the citation ready to go and it's a link that you can copy and paste here, and I'll show you, this is one I was using. It's going to possibly fight me because I already created this citation, but you can click here and it should automatically generate something that looks more or less like this for you. So you don't have to do a whole lot of work. Now you'll want to make sure your cursor's in the right place because you'll see this generated here in the far left where it's not useful to anyone. But as I'm adding information here, like I just added this citation, I've already added this book. So I can go over to the reuse button and all of the previous citations from the article are already here. So you don't have to keep going through and re-adding reference points. If for some reason it gives you a hard time about generating this citation, then you might need to come to manual, but it does walk you through essentially how to do that. Odds are you'll be on a website or in an, let me do another one, in a journal. And you don't have to fill out all these fields. You can just fill out the ones that you have the information for, especially the ones with the asterisks are the ones that are required. So just title, journal, and that's all you have to put in there. And someone can come along and clean it up later. So no stress on that. And just, yeah, make sure your cursor is where you want it to be. And that cite button should be up at the top for you. You can also, if you're working from a book, like I have a physical book in front of me, you can put the ISBN number there, and that can always be found in the front pages, and it should find that book for you as well. Any questions about citing? Feel free to ask, because this is a little funky section to do. Okay, great. I'll go back to the music, and I think I'll switch it up from Elfrida here, and we'll maybe just put this whole playlist on shuffle and see what pops up. Sorry, we had a request for a different screen share, so everyone stand by. Go ahead, Jeff, whenever you're ready. It's at the bottom of the Zoom window. There's a green button with an up arrow on it, and you click that, and then you click which window you want to share. Should look something like this. Let's see if I can drop a picture in the chat. Great. Okay, that's probably the template that you added, showing that you're working on the article. So you should still be able to edit. So if you click the edit button up at the top right here, you should be able to go right back on in. Yeah, you should be all good. Yeah, I think that was the template that I instructed you to put in so that other people wouldn't edit on it. But it does show up on the public side so that people know not to use it. Did that answer your question? Okay, great. Oh, yes. Was there a question? Okay, great.
Katie?
Yes.
Um, I had a question about wanting to break a heading into subheadings.
Hmm.
And I I mean I can hit edit and then I can go to it, but I don't know if there's a format that they like to use where you would like indent the subheading, that kind of thing. How would I know how
There's there's not really any set formatting. It seems like every article is a little bit different. But to show you which one I'm doing, let me drag back over here.
okay.
All I did, I just added all of these subheadings because there were not any in this main heading section.
Oh,
So that you can just do these little guys here, and you don't have to worry about indenting them. You tend to just leave them on the left. I don't think they really do indents at all, oddly.
okay.
But you can just break them as you see fit, and if someone comes along later and decides there's a better way to do it, then they can change it again, and that's all well and good.
Okay, that's wonderful. And that also answered my question as to whether we should put musical compositions or just compositions. So,
In this case, I just did music. I just put compositions because I don't
yeah,
think she did a whole lot of authorial writing. If there's ever a question of clarity, it doesn't hurt to specify. But in this case, it's pretty clear I'm talking about music.
great. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I just keep repeating wow as I hear this recording. It's so intense. We had a great question about how to remove the in-use template. This is fairly simple to do, hopefully. It's easier than adding it, I think. All you have to do is go back into the editing page, and then you just click it, and then you hit backspace, and it should go away. So it should highlight blue once you click it, and then just hit back on your keyboard, should be gone. Then you just publish again and say removed in use template, minor edit, and it's gone. So that's something we can all do as we wrap up our articles for the evening. I cannot believe that we're almost at the end here. So this will be something we'll all do in the next few minutes. The time does fly. I'll finish playing this recording though before we fully wrap up. That is a super fun piece of music. I don't know how any of you play that. I can't get my hands to coordinate playing piano, let alone trying to coordinate feet and hands at the same time. Wow. Yes, it's really hard. So, Jeff, I'll try and track down that ISBN and add it myself so you don't have to hunt it down. No worries at all there. Oh, good, you found it. Okay, great. Okay, so we have come to the end of our evening, more or less. I am so glad that you all were able to join. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so I can see everyone's faces. Thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. I know editing Wikipedia is a little scary the first couple times you do it. The tech is never as helpful as I want it to be. But now that you've done the hard part of even just getting started, it's going to be easier each time you do it. It's got its quirks. It definitely has its quirks. So it's just something we all learn to roll with and figure out how to do the ins and out of it. But again, nothing is permanent. So if anything ever gets funky, we can come along and fix it easy peasy. So Boulanger Initiative actually hosts these Wikathons once every month with our own themes that we pick out, not always Oregon. Sometime last month we did, I guess this was December, we did all World War I composers, which was fun. And this coming February, we're doing all love song composers, so people who wrote different love songs. That'll be a lot of fun. We also do a lot of virtual programming where we have presentations you can come watch. I'm so excited about the slate we have ready for the rest of the semester. I don't know if any of you have read Dr. Leah Broad's book Quartet about Ethel Smythe, Rebecca Clark, Doreen Carwithen, and Dorothy Howell, but it is such a great book, and she's going to come give a talk about her next book that's coming out, so really excited. As well as Dr. Susan McClary is joining us in May. I don't know if you know her name, but she's kind of the original feminist musicologist from the 80s who launched the whole movement against Schenkerian analysis. No, but interest in resurgence and interest in women's music. So we're so thrilled to have her joining us. And Matthew Auban of the Jackson Symphony is going to talk about allyship from the podium on, I believe that's in March. So we've got tons and tons of great stuff for you to come join us. Definitely check out the database. It's hopefully easier to use than Wikipedia. We worked really hard to make it that way. And I hope we'll see you again at a future event, and come find us. Oh yeah, Fernanda Crook, exactly. He's going to talk about all of his work recovering her music, so definitely join us. And her stuff is super cool. So that was really fun for me to get to learn more about her music also. So that'll be a fun presentation. So Michelle, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I think that's it. I will post this along with our handout on YouTube once the video is ready. You could share that. You can relook at it. It'll be on the AGO YouTube page. If you have any other questions regarding this or any of our other upcoming webinars, you can always just give myself an email. Or if you want to connect with Katie, you can give her an email or
Mhm.
email me to connect with
Absolutely.
her, whatever. We'll make sure you get to the right place.
And if the Wikipedia editing bug caught you, we'll keep tracking all of the activity from this event for the next week. So if you want to go in and finish something you were working on, or you just get excited and want to keep doing it, we'll get to count all of those cool words that we've added. And eventually when the dashboard updates, I noticed it was glitching out a little earlier. Again, it's never as simple as we want. We should be able to see all of the contributions that we made over the course of the event. It just updates on its own schedule, which currently says 28 days from now. So who knows when it will do that. But again, thank you so much, all of you, for being so willing to jump into this very strange editing board that they've got. So much fun.
Thank you,
Have a
Katie.
great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
You too.